Flipgrid is a video discussion platform that you can use with your students to give them a prompt and they can respond by recording a video, a screencast, recording audio, or even uploading a video. This video will show you everything you need to know to get started. To sign up for Flipgrid, start by typing flipgrid.com in the address bar, and then on the top right, click on Educator Sign Up. Go ahead and sign up with Google. And I recommend using your PVUSD account, but in this case, I already created an account, so I'm going to use a fake Gmail account here. Next, you'll want to fill out the information about yourself, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then click Let's Go. And now it says, Welcome to Flipgrid. Create a group, add discussion topics, share the join code. You don't have to create a group right away. You can just click the X to close. But a group would be kind of like in Google Classroom, you have your different classes. So that's what a group would be in Flipgrid. And so now that you've logged in, it probably looks a bit like this. You'll see several tabs across the top, and the one we're going to focus on first is the discussion tab. And that is where you can create groups and topics. Right now, we don't have any, so it looks like this. I'm going to go ahead and switch to my PVOC account. Okay, so once you do create groups or topics, you'll see them all listed here. So basically, a group is kind of like your class. I could create a class called Miss Islas third grade, or I could create a group for each of the periods that I teach. You can also create a topic or assignment on its own. And the benefit of that is, for example, maybe you want to create a topic that is not linked to one of your classes. Maybe it's a topic that you want to share with the whole school or with all the parents, something like that. Or maybe you even want a topic created for each of your small groups, and then you want to share that and not associate it with the class, with the group where you normally put assignments. But anyway, you could click on either of these tabs to create a topic. I'm going to start off with how to create a group, since generally I like to organize my topics into groups or classes. So when you click on the Groups tab, you'll now see this Create a Group button. And so you want to start off by naming your group. And then I could change this code if I want to. If I want students to access this Flipgrid group by going to flipgrid.com and entering a code, then I might want to make this easier for them to remember. For example, especially for little ones, like if I teach first grade, I might want to make this a code that is easier to remember. And then here I could see that that code is available. But generally, the easiest way to share with students is by adding the link in Google Classroom, so you might not worry about updating the code. And now I'm going to scroll down to the permissions section, and this is where you're going to set up who has access to your Flipgrid, who can reply on your Flipgrid. And generally, when working with students, I would keep it at private. You can make a public Flipgrid if you want, and if you ever do, whoever wants to reply will have to log in with Google or with Microsoft. But for students, leave it on private. And I would suggest either using student email or Google Classroom, which is a new feature that just got added a couple weeks ago. So if you choose student email, it asks you to enter the email domain or type in individual email addresses. If you choose to type in the domain, which is at pvusd.net, um, then anybody that has the link to your Flipgrid or the code to your Flipgrid and that has an email address that ends with at pvusd.net will be able to access that topic or your Flipgrid class. And by the way, you could enter multiple domains if you like. For example, I usually add at gmail.com as well. That way I can send myself the link on my personal account and test it out just to see if everything is set up the way I want. If you want to make it a little bit more private, if you don't want anyone with the link that has these email addresses to access, maybe you just want your students to access, then I would either type their emails here Or even easier would be to sync with your Google Classroom roster. So I would click here on Google Classroom, and then I'm going to click on select a class and then choose one of the classes that I teach. And then down here, I could choose to have students receive an email notification when I post a new topic. So I could turn that on if I want. Um, Generally, if you're posting in Google Classroom, they'll get a notification anyway. Um, this is also where you could change whether your class is active or hidden. So if your class is active, that means that students still have access to it. Maybe at the end of the year, you want to change it to hidden. And then down here, you can personalize it by changing the photo that's up in the banner. So you could click here to upload your own photo or to browse. Or there's a few different tabs here with a lot of pictures that you can choose from. I'm going to choose this unicorn. All right, so when you're done, click Create Group. And now you'll get this pop-up that shows a few different ways to share this Flipgrid group. It gives you the link. You can push it out to Google Classroom, for example, or you can share it on Remind. I'm just going to go ahead and close this for now. So now I'm in that class. I see the name of the class, Spanish Period 1. It's going to look a little bit different for students. We'll see that later on. If I scroll down here, I can see all the topics for the class. And then if I click on this tab, students, I could see all of the students. It took a second to load, but these are the only students that I had in that Google Classroom. If you have any new students or students drop, you might want to click on this sync roster to update your roster. And that's if you use the Google Classroom option. If you use the student email option, you don't have to worry about this. You can just share the link, and anyone at PVUSD with the link would be able to access your Flipgrid. So it depends on how much privacy you want. If I ever need to edit this group for any reason, I can click on the editing pencil here. Or if I go back to discussion where I could see the list of all my groups, now I see the group right here. I have some more options here on the side, one of which is that pencil again. And so when I click on it in either one of those places, I can go back here and edit any of the information here. And then if you make any changes, make sure you click on update. Some more options you have here when you're looking at groups is you can also change it from active to hidden here. When it's hidden, that means students can no longer access that group. If it's active, they can. You can also click the share button here, so that's just for this group. And then I get all those options I saw earlier. I can copy the link and send in an email, or I could push to Classroom. And then if you go to this Actions tab, you have a lot more options. One of the ones is maybe you want to delete the group if you don't want it any longer, or you could duplicate the whole group. So maybe you want to just make a copy of the group and all the topics within it at the end of the year so that you can reuse it the next year. Another useful feature is this add co-pilots. That's to add a co-teacher. That teacher would have to already have set up a Flipgrid educator account. And then you would enter their email address and then click invite. And they would be able to do everything that you can do. They could add topics, edit them, reply to students. The only thing they can't do is add more co-pilots. But it's definitely a useful feature. If you're a co-pilot in someone else's class, you could duplicate a topic, essentially copying a topic and adding it to your own class. Now I'm going to show you two places where you can create a topic, which is your assignment. Make sure that you're in the discussion tab, and then you could either click on groups or topics. Since I just created a group, I'm going to stay here in the groups tab. I can tell it's selected because it's underlined in blue. And then I'm going to click on the title of my class, Spanish Period 1. Now I'm inside of that group or class, and I can see that Flipgrid automatically added one topic for me. You could delete that if you want, but I'm going to go ahead and just click this Add a Topic button. And now I have a lot of options right here, starting with the title of your topic. What's the title of your assignment? Since I said I'm teaching Spanish 1, I'm going to add a title in Spanish, vacation. Next is the prompt section, and so here is where you could add a question or directions that let your students know what you want them to talk about. You could make it simple, or you could tell them sentence frames, add any words you would like them to use in their response, give them directions about the actual recording process, or tips on uh, looking at the camera or reading loud enough, anything you want to include. So in this case, I'm going to say, tell me about your vacation. Now at the bottom here, there's a media section, and this is your focus point when your students see the assignment. You could leave it blank, or you could add a video if you want. So for example, if I'm doing a math lesson, maybe I want to add a lesson I recorded or a lesson that I found on YouTube. Um, so if it's something on my computer, I could upload, or I could add a YouTube link, or I could even record a video up to 10 minutes long. You could just add an image or an emoji. There are lots of choices here. In this case, I'm just going to add an emoji. Maybe I'll do a palm tree since I'm talking about vacation. Okay, here we have a few more options. Topic moderation, I think, is turned off by default. So usually when students record their video and submit it, it appears a few seconds later, and other students can see their video, and they can also reply to the videos if that's what you allowed in the settings here. If you turn this on, then students will not see each other's videos right away. You would have to approve them before they can be seen by other students. Here in the comments section is where you can choose how you want your students to respond to each other's videos. You could give them both options, video or text, one or the other, or turn it off completely. Here you could set the maximum recording time. The default is 1 minute and 30 seconds, but you can do up to 10 minutes. Now, just because I choose 10 minutes doesn't mean they have to record 10 minutes. It's just the maximum length that the video could be. And here you can choose to enable closed captions or turn them off. At the bottom here, I can click here to see more options. So I'll go ahead and do that. Here under attachments, you can attach up to 9 links, and that's useful for assignments where maybe the students have to watch a video and then record their response based on what they watched, or maybe read 2 articles and compare them in their response. So you can attach, for example, a link to a YouTube video or a lesson that you made, or links to articles, even links to Google Docs or slides that you have created. All you have to do is paste the link here and then add a title for that link so that they know what the link goes to. And when you want to add another one, click here. Topic status here is where you could change the status of your topic, kind of similar to what we did with the group, except now you have 3 options. So if your topic is active, then students can see your topic and record responses. If I change it to frozen, then students will be able to still view each other's videos, but they will not be able to record a response any longer. And if I change it to hidden, students will not be able to find your Flipgrid topic any longer. You can also schedule a topic. So for example, maybe I want to create my topic in advance, but I don't want it to become active until a week from now. And then I only want students to have a week to complete it. So maybe here I will put the date January 18th. Here you can set your notifications. So, do you want to receive email notifications when new videos and comments are submitted? Do you want to receive them daily, weekly, or every time there's a new video and comment, or never? So that is up to you. And then here you can turn on whether or not you want students to receive email notifications when new videos are added. In the video features section, there is this drop down where you can select whether you want students to use all the visual effects or stickers that are available to them. If you don't want them to use them at all, maybe they're distracting, you could turn it off. If you choose to have them use it during the video portion, that means they can use all the effects like whiteboard, screencasting, drawing tools. They can use it before recording or during recording. Selfies is at the end. At the very end of their video recording, they get to take a selfie and then they can add stickers to decorate it. So you could choose one or the other or enable both. You could also, I think these are the settings by default. You could have students attach a link if you'd like. Usually I leave likes toggled off because I don't want students getting competitive about how many likes they have or how many view counts. So that one I usually turn off as well. Um, Video editing is a great feature, especially for students that are older. I might turn it off for the very young students. It might be a little too hard for them at first. Um, but if you think your students can handle it, they could trim their videos from the beginning or the end. They could rearrange clips. They can record as many clips as they like. They can also add a sticky note. You could turn that off if you think you don't need it. And you could enable for them to download their videos and their selfies. Last of all, there's this feedback section. I usually just leave it on basic feedback. You'll have the ability to record a private response or type some comments, but you can create a custom rubric if you like. And before you create your topic, right, none of this will get saved until you click Create Topic. You might want to click Save Changes to my default settings. You don't have to worry about it for now, but once you make quite a few topics, if you find that you're always checking the same boxes and always choosing the same time limit, for example, then you might want to save yourself some time by clicking the Save Changes to my default settings. And that way, the next time you create a topic, it'll be set exactly how you like it. All right, so now I'm ready to create the topic. Another place that you can create a topic is by going back to that discussion tab and instead of groups, selecting topics. Now you will see this add a topic button. And so once you click on it, you will go through the same steps that you did before. So once I clicked on that create topic button, I get this box that gives me all the options for sharing this specific topic. I could choose to share the link. I can copy it. I can push it out to Classroom. I could push it out to Remind. Or I could close this for now and decide to share it later. So if you don't share it right away, there's a couple places where you can find that share button. So I'm going to go back out of here to the discussion area just to show you how to find your topic again. So if I go to discussion, and here's my groups because I created this within this Spanish period 1 group, I can open up that group. And then now I see the topic I just created right here. And I see that it's scheduled to post later on. Now, if I'm ready to share it, right here where all my topics are listed, I can click on that share button and then I get that same box. I could also click into the topic. So here I'm going to click on it just to take a look at it. And then when I'm in here in this topic, Las Vacaciones, I see that share button again. So there's lots of places where you could find this. Now I'll show you how to share it in Google Classroom. So once I open that, I can click on that icon And then I click on this drop down to see all of my classes. I'm going to go ahead and select this one and then choose what type of assignment you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and click assignment and then go. And then you can just fill it out like normal and assign it to your class. Now I'm just going to show you a few more options that you have with your topics. So again, if I want to find all my topics, I go to discussion. And then if I click on topics, I see every single topic that I've created here. It says I have 95. Whether they belong to a group or not, they will be listed here under topics. So if I created one that does not belong to a group, it might be a little bit hard to find it. I'd have to scroll through 95 topics. That's one reason that groups are great for organizing. But anyway, you have all your topics here. And you could see here, you could change whether it's active, frozen, or hidden. And there's the share button again. And there's a few more options here under actions. The first that I'd like to show you is, for example, this topic, reading response, is not assigned to a group. If I decide later on to add it to a group, I can click this Add to Group button. One thing to note is with this option, you can only choose one group. If I try to click this group, for example, and then I click another one, it doesn't make a list of groups. It just shows the one group you're adding it to, and then you would click Add. If you'd like to add that topic to multiple groups, you want to go to Actions, and there's a lot of things you could do here, but for now I'm going to choose Duplicate Topic. And what that does is it makes a copy of your topic, and you can choose which group you'd like to send it to. So if I click on this little drop down here, I can choose as many groups as I want. But for some reason right now in the most current update, if I select one group, it closes that drop down, and then I have to go back in here and then select another one. Um, so maybe they'll fix that later on. Um, so for example, now I see that I've added it to 3 different groups, and I can go ahead and click duplicate so you can see what that looks like. I'll just close that. And now maybe if I refresh the screen, I'll see here the change. So now I can see that that reading response topic is still here, the original that's not part of a group, but I've also made 3 copies of it, and these are the classes that I added them to. And with each of these, they're all copies, so I could go to an individual topic and modify it, and it would not affect the other ones. Let's look at a few more options in this Actions dropdown. So some more useful things you can do is delete topic. If you no longer need the topic, if you don't need any of the responses that students have recorded anymore, you could go ahead and delete the topic. Though some teachers may choose to just hide it. That way you keep, the topic and the student work, but students no longer have access. You can also move the topic. So maybe you accidentally put the topic in the wrong group, and I want to click move and select which group I want to move it to, and then say move. Another one you could do is hide the topic, just like we were looking at right here. You can also record a response, though there's more ways to do that. I'll show that in a little bit. And another one you could do is submit to Discovery. So Discovery is the teacher lesson library, basically, and we'll look at that more in a bit. But if you make a lesson that you want to share with others, you can submit it to Discovery. And so those are a few of the actions that you can do with a topic. So before I show you how students can access Flipgrid, I'm going to show you how teachers can access the student view. So here under discussion, you want to find your topic, whether it's under groups or topics. In this case, I had it in this group. And then I'm going to click on the topic to open it up. And so here I see this join code. And when I mouse over it, it says view as student. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And then it'll ask me to join with Google. And you could leave this checked if you like so that it remembers you the next time and you don't have to click it again. And then select your PVOSD account. So now it looks a bit different. This is what it'll look like for the student. I can see here that I have 0 responses right now, but eventually you're going to see the students' thumbnails here, and you would click on one to watch their video. And so the reason you might want to look at the student view is just to make sure that you set it up the way you want it to look. Do your directions look okay? Is moderation on or not? Is the topic active or frozen? And you could even go in here and record a response in case you want to model what you want your students to be doing. So for this case, if I'm talking about my vacation, that would make sense. I could share about my vacation. Now I'm going to show you how students access Flipgrid. As the teacher, here's my teacher view. You may have shared it by pushing out to Classroom, so I'll show you what students see there. Or you could share this join code and they can go to flipgrid.com and type it. So this is for sharing a specific topic. Or maybe if I click here on the group, you might have shared the link to the entire group where they might see all of the topics. Or you could give them the join code for that group. If you do share the join code for the entire group, that might be easier for very little kids because then they could always type the same code. Um, you want to make sure that whatever topic you want them to see when they enter the code or click the link, whatever topic has to be on the very top. It opens up to the first one. So I could just click and drag and move that topic to the top, and then it'll be ready for them when they go to the link. So let's look at student view. So first I'm going to go to flipgrid.com. And if you do it that way, they can click here to enter the join code. So in this case, I'm going to type the group code. So then I could click enter on my keyboard, or I could click the arrow button here. And then students would click join with Google and select their name. And now I can see this is the group view. I can see the group banner and it opened up to the first one on the list, Las Vacaciones. But if you share the group code or the group link, you'll also see this view topics. And so I could see in that whole class, I have 3 different topics, the one that's open and then these as well. And as the teacher, if you wanted students to not see more topics, then you could hide some of these. So this is what it looks like when you share the group code or the group link. Now I'm going to go over to Google Classroom. And so I posted to classwork. Here's a link to a specific topic. And so if I click on that, I'd still have to join with Google and then select my name. But then this time it looks a little bit different. Now I don't see that class banner because I linked to a specific topic. Anyway, whichever way you do it, whether it's to a specific topic or to a class, once you scroll down, you could see the button to record your response. So this is student view. And they would also see thumbnails of other students' videos if the topic is not moderated. So they could just click on a thumbnail to watch the video. Let's look at a few more features of student view. At the top, students can see their name, and if they click on that drop-down, they can switch between dark mode and the light mode. So maybe it's easier for the students to read. If they change it, they can always go back to light mode here. Another thing that they can find here in this menu is myflipgrid.com, and that's where students can go to access any grids that they have recorded a response on. So you can see I have to log in. And then they would also see any feedback that they've gotten. So here I could click view to see that feedback. If I scroll down, here is the name of the assignment and the directions. So you might also add emojis to your directions to make it more fun for the students. Another thing here, if students need help reading, Here, this icon is Immersive Reader. So when I click on it, it loads the directions, and then I could click this play button for it to read it to me. And then I paused it right here again. If that's too fast, I can go to the voice settings, and then I could switch between female or male voice. I could drag this to make it slower or faster, and then I could play it again. You can find some more options for Immersive Reader at the top right. This first one is all about text. I could change the text size. I could increase spacing, change the font, or change the background color, whatever makes it easier for the student to read. On this second one, the grammar options, let's say that I'm studying nouns, I could turn that on and then it would highlight all of the nouns, or I could break it into syllables. I'm just going to turn that off. And the last one is reading preferences. Um, some of the cool things here are picture dictionary and translate. Picture dictionary by default is turned on. So for example, if I click on certain words, it'll open up a picture and I can click on this icon to hear how to pronounce the word. I can also go back here and choose a language to translate to. And there's a lot of languages to choose from. So maybe I want to go to Spanish here. And then if I do by document, it'll translate the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and toggle that on. And now I can see here original, and then I can click here to go to Spanish. And you can use the same options here. I could play it, and it reads it to me. So I could click on words, and I'll see a picture that describes the word, and I could also listen to what the word sounds like in English and in Spanish. When I'm done with Immersive Reader, I can go to this arrow to exit. Another thing you'll notice is the focus area. So when you create your assignment, whatever you choose as your focus will be here, whether it's an emoji, a picture, a video that you've uploaded or linked to or recorded for your students. And now I'm going to scroll down. So let's get into how to record a response. For students to record a response, they can find it in a few places. I see here at the top, record a response. After reading the title and directions, I can scroll down and I see the button here again. And also they could just click on this big red button as well. I'm going to show you just the basics first, because if you're teaching really young kids, you might want to show them just the basics: record, next, submit. And then you could incorporate a few things at a time, like how to use the whiteboard and special effects. So to begin, click on one of the red buttons. And then I could click this record button here. It counts down 3, 2, 1. Now I'm recording my response for my teacher. When I'm done, I can click pause. Now, if I feel like I made a mistake, I think it's really important to show students this redo button, because it's great for fluency. They might record and then want to try again, redo, and the more they do it, the better their response is going to be. So if I click redo, it says, "Are you sure you want to delete this clip?" Confirm. And then I'm still in this camera view, so I can just click the record button again, and it counts 3, 2, 1. And now I'm recording my response for my teacher. Students can also click pause here if they need to think about their sentences before they finish their response, and then click again to continue recording. Now it's recording right now, and I can also see a timer here that lets me know how much time I have left. So for this specific topic, I think I set it to 1 minute and 30 seconds maximum, but I don't need to fill the entire time. So if I'm done, I can click pause and then click next. And now it automatically started playing a preview of my video. And here you get another chance to redo. If you don't like this video, you can click close, And then it tells me here that all progress will be lost. So if I click confirm, that would take me back to that big red button and I would start all over again. But I'm just going to go ahead and click cancel and then click next to continue. And now students get a chance to change their display name if they need to. It should just automatically put their name here. I'm going to update mine and then click submit. And your students need to wait until that's done uploading. Then they'll see fireworks and then they'll click complete. If they don't let it upload and click complete, then their video will not save. So now the video should appear here. It might take a few seconds or maybe a minute, and you could just click the refresh button up at the top left as well so that you could see the video. So now I can see there's that one video, and students, any student, since this is not a moderated topic, they could click on it to watch it. Now I'm going to show you some of the more advanced features, starting by clicking on that record button again, and then I'll explain what all of these buttons do. So the very first one is show topic. And so if I click there, students can read the directions and they could do that before or during recording. And they click the button again to close. That's also true for the sticky note. I can click on that to add a note. So I can just type something and then just click out of the box. If I need to add a note, I can move it around. And again, you can use that before or during recording. And if I want to get rid of it, I can just click the X here. Um, the effects you can also use before or during recording, and I'll go through those a few at a time. Um, the filters, for some reason, they've been a little bit glitchy for me, but um, you can kind of click through them to change the color, and the bottom two here are especially nice if you have someone that's shy that doesn't want to show their image. Um, it should turn off when you click this button, but you see how my screen got dark? For some reason that happens on my computer, hopefully not on yours. And then you should be able to just go back here. I'm going to change mine to another color just so that I can see. And then I'll go back to look at the other options. The next one is frames, and that just adds kind of like a border, a fun border. Um, and you can turn that off here as well, and then go back. You can also add emojis. This should load a bunch of different emojis and menus. For some reason, mine is having trouble here. But you can also search. So maybe I'll look for happy and then see what kind of emojis I get. I'll go ahead and pick this one. And so maybe I want to move it, drag it over my face, and then if you pull on the little circles on the edges, you can make it bigger. So again, if I'm shy, I could hide my face like that. And you could do that before you start recording. That way no one would see my face during the whole video. You could drag it around. You could rotate it with that top circle if you need to. And if you click on these double squares here, you can duplicate it. So now I have two. And if I want to delete one, once it's selected, and I can tell because it's blue, I can click on the little trash can to delete it. And this button would flip the image. So I'll just delete one of those and then I'll continue. So I'm going to click on that effects button again. Another option is text. So you could choose what style you want. And then it adds this little box here that I can type in, and you can move that as well. I'm going to type something first, and then I can't move it yet until I click outside of the box. And now I see when I mouse over it, I see some crosshairs like a plus sign. That tells me that I can move it out of the way now. And you get the same options as you had with the emoji. I can also, if I have this selected, I have a few more options here. I can change the background color. If I go back here, I can change the font color, etc., and the font style. I'm going to go ahead and click back and back again, and then go to the next tool, which is the drawing tool. So here you have a slider so that you can choose what color you want. Um, I think I'll go with purple. And then you could choose the line thickness here. And so once I have that ready, I can just kind of scribble. And if I don't like that, I can always go to undo, and that'll undo the last things I did. And so now I have an undo and a redo. You can also delete everything that's on your screen by clicking on this button that says clear. And now I'm going to go to effects again and look at the next drawing tool, which is the whiteboard. If I click on whiteboard, there's some cool new features since August. Basically, they added a few more different types of boards that you can write on. But then also, you can do split screen like it is right now, half and half. But this slider here will let you change how big you want it. So maybe you do want to come out here talking about what you're writing. Like maybe I'll set that whiteboard and then I'll go back to the drawing tool, and I'm going to be talking through how to multiply 3 times 4. Or if you want more space for your whiteboard, or if you're shy, I can go out of this drawing tool, go back to the whiteboard, and then move the screen. So I have more space for writing now. And again, I could set this up before I start recording, or I could be using this tool during recording and then turn it off again when I don't need it. Um, Back to the effects, the last one here is photo. So if your students have a photo that they would like to add that's in their Google Drive, they can click here to add it. And so for me, I'm on a desktop computer, so I could just upload something from my computer. So here's my cat, Byron. And so, and it's clear because it's a PNG. So I could add a picture of my cat here. Let me turn off the whiteboard. So I'm going to click on the whiteboard and then click on this to clear it. And now I could put my kitty here sitting on my shoulder. And maybe I want to delete this writing here. I can actually click. I can click on it and delete, or I can click on it and click the backspace on my keyboard to get rid of that as well. So that's all the effects. So now here at the bottom, I'm going to look at the options button. Maybe I don't want to record. Maybe I want to upload a video that I already made using some other tool, maybe WeVideo or Screencastify, just so I could share it with other students. So if I click options, I have this upload clip. And then if you're on a Chromebook, this should take you to your Google Drive, or if you have anything saved in your downloads on your Chromebook as well. So now back here under options, the next choice is mic only, and that just came out a couple of weeks ago on December 21st. You can use that for students that are shy, they don't want to record a video, they just want to record audio, or maybe you're working on a podcast. So I can see here that my mic's working because it's moving while I'm talking, but I can see it's not recording yet. The time isn't moving down here. And so when I want to start recording my audio, I just click this button and it counts down 3, 2, 1. And now I'm recording my audio. And then when I'm done, I just click pause and then click next. So just like the video, it starts giving me a preview of my audio. And so I could listen to it. I can play and pause here. And if it seems okay, I'll click next, put my name here if I need to update it, and click submit. And so now it's uploading. I click complete. And so let's refresh to see what that looks like. And so now here, this was my video recording, but now here is an audio only recording. Pretty cool. Again, I go to options. Another one is mirror view. So that's just if I want to rotate the picture there before I start recording, I can do that. I also have the option to mute here. And the last tool here is record screen. So your students in Flipgrid could record a screencast, submit it, and have other students watch and comment. So perhaps they made a Google Slides presentation and they want to record their screen so that other students could see their presentation and also be recording their voice while they read it. So I'll show you an example. So if I click this record screen button and then I want to say start screen recording, and then it gives me a choice. Do I want to record my entire screen, a window, so I get to choose here which one, or a specific Chrome tab? So maybe for this example, I'm going to choose this Google Slide presentation. And then when I'm ready, it's not recording yet, I'm going to click share. And then here it says sharing this tab to Flipgrid. So it looks like it's already recording. So as soon as I click that share button, I probably want to click present and then read through my slides. So I could be recording. This is how you use Google Slides. This is how you crop an image. And then when I'm done, I can click this stop button here. So when I went back to this Flipgrid tab, as soon as I clicked stop, I heard my voice talking through this recording. And so here is exactly what I recorded. I could move the playhead around if I want to see more of the video that I just recorded. And if that looks okay, then I can click next and submit my screencast. So your students could record anything on their computer. They could show how to do something on the computer or show off some of the work that they've done. The last two features I'd like to show you is video editing and changing your thumbnail. So for example, if I click here to start recording, 3, 2, 1. So now I'm recording my response, and when I'm done and I click next, it plays through my clip. But I can actually trim the beginning or the end if I click to select that clip. Now I see that it added a blue bar at the beginning. And so, for example, if I forgot to start talking, if I wasn't quite ready, I could trim there and I could trim the end as well. And when it looks okay, I can preview it to see if that's okay. I can click confirm to save or delete and start over. Another thing you can do for editing is you can actually add more clips. So I have one so far, but maybe I forgot to introduce myself. So I'm going to click record again. Hi, my name is Janie. And then I'll click next. And now I can see that I have two clips and the newest one goes to the end. I can move the playhead here to listen to the clip, and I can actually click and drag to rearrange clips. You can add as many clips as you like. If that looks okay, click next. If you ever want to delete any of these, just click on them and choose delete clip. So that's how you edit your videos. Now to change your thumbnail, you have a few choices right here before you click submit. Um, so the first one is select a frame. This will allow me to move the playhead throughout my video. So that would have been helpful in the one where I had my eyes closed. I could have moved this to some other place where it looks okay. Yeah, definitely not there. That looks okay. Then I'll click confirm. Or I could take a new selfie instead of selecting a frame. So I'm going to click on that camera when I'm ready. And then you could mirror the selfie. Maybe you need to rotate it, flip the picture. Or you could click on effects and then you could draw on it, add frames. And I think the most fun one is the emojis. So here I can go through and look at the different types of emojis. I think the funnest one is the accessories, but they've added a lot. I can click on these arrows and there's some sign language ones. There should be some mathematics symbols somewhere in here too. Yeah, here's a few under reactions, but yeah, accessories are super fun. So I could go through here and choose some accessories to add, and I can add as many as I want. And then when I'm done, I can confirm. And then here, this is another thing the teacher can enable. Students can add a link. So maybe they have some kind of project that they want to link to or a Google Doc, and they can add a title if they want and then submit. If you've enabled comments in your settings, students will be able to click on a video and then record a video or text comment or both. As soon as I click on a video, it starts to play, and I can see which videos come next, and it'll automatically play one to the next, and so on. I also have a few options here at the bottom. I could turn on closed captions, and I could actually here in the settings slow down or speed up the speed. Here underneath, I can see how many comments there are, how many likes. So I could click to like the video, which I already did, and I can see how many views if you have that enabled. And so down here in the comment section, I can click on this icon to record a video comment, just like we recorded a video earlier. I'll just go through that really quick. So I'm going to click to record. Great job on your video, Janie. And then now I'll submit it. And you have the same options to select a frame. I'm just going to confirm. And so even though I click confirm to add this video, it's still not posted yet. I still see 0 comments until I click on this submit your comment. So that's how you add a video comment. You could also just click in this text box here to add a text comment. So I'm just going to type great job. Um, and there's actually a profanity filter. So if students try typing something inappropriate, it should give them a warning, though it didn't quite work when I tried it in Spanish. Anyway, to submit the comment, click enter or click on the little arrow here. And so now I can see the name of the person who added the comment. And now here it says I have 2 comments. And so that is how students add comments to videos. And I can just click here to go back and watch another one and add more comments. And now here I can see comments and likes as well. Let's see what that looks like on the teacher end. So here I am again in my teacher account. To find student responses, even if I posted it in Google Classroom, I need to go to Flipgrid to look at the responses. So I'm going to find that topic, and this one happened to be in this group, and it was this hello. I can see there's 4 responses. And so it looks a bit different for the teacher. Here I could see all of the student names. In this case, it was just me using the same account. And then I could also see if there's any comments here, and I could click on it to view. I have a few more options here. For example, if this topic was moderated, all of these would appear to be hidden. And so I could watch the video, and then if I want to approve it, I can click active, and then the students would be able to see it on the grid. You could also share a specific response. Maybe you want to copy it and share it with your administrator or with the student's parent as well. And here there's a few more actions that you can do. So you can also hide the response here. You can move a response. You can add it to a mixtape, which is kind of like you're making a playlist. I'll show that in a little bit. You could download the video or the selfie, or you could delete the response entirely. Okay, so now how do I add feedback? I'm going to click on one of these. And then you will see that I have the same options that the students do, but it says add a public comment. So anything I type here, or if I record a video here, will be added to all of the comments here that the students have added. If I scroll down here to look at the comments that are already here, if someone added something inappropriate, for example, I could click here and hide that comment, but I would still be able to see it in case I need to show it to admin or something like that. You do also have the option for both the video and the comment to click on the 3 dots here, and then you could delete it as well. Um, Up here, just below the video that I'm watching, for teachers, there is the option to give feedback. So this is where I would go if I want to add some private feedback just for that student. So if I record a video using this button, only that student will be able to see it. And again, they could see it by going up to their name and going to myflipgrid.com, or they could open another tab and go to my.flipgrid.com and log in with Google to see everything they've recorded and also the teacher feedback. If they're in third grade or up, it should also send them an email with your feedback as well. So let's say I record a video or I type a comment here. This is where I would click to email the feedback. Or I could copy the feedback link and send that in an email as well, either way. If you want to use a rubric, you could use that here as well. If your student did anything on their video that you would like to change, like perhaps they put the wrong display name, maybe they added a nickname and you wanted their full name, you could change that here. You could change the title or the link that they added as well, and then just click update. And that's how you give feedback in Flipgrid. As you can see, you'll be spending most of your time in the discussion tab, but I'd like to show you just a little bit about the other things you can do in Flipgrid. To begin, in the Discovery tab, you can find lessons that are already created that you can just copy over to your group and share with your students. Flipgrid has many partnerships, so you'll find a lot of different lessons created by different groups, like the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I can scroll here to see some more, or I can scroll down as well here to see some more. There's coding activities, national parks, etc. There's also the topic of the day and the wonder of the day. So I can click on any of these to see some more activities. There's also trending topics, topics suggested for me, maybe based on the grade level that I chose, featured collections, and then finally at the bottom, you can search by subject, audience, or by topic. So for example, I might look through here and choose language learning and then choose the grade level that I would like. Let's say middle school. And for example, I'll type Spanish and then my results should come out here. And so I can just click on an activity to check it out. So the teacher who submitted this might have a description of the project. They might upload materials that you'll need. So here, this one has a Google slide presentation. And if you decide to use this, um, you could always save it to a collection. So I'm going to add this to my favorites, just in case I'm not quite ready to use it yet, but maybe I'll use it later. Or you could click Add Topic and then choose whether you want to add it to your individual topics or add it to a group. And then select the group that you'd like and click Next. And now it's been added to my group. Let me show you where you can find your favorites. So if I go all the way to the top again and go to My Library, then this is where my favorites are. And I should see that activity here. There it is. The Mixtapes tab is where you can create that playlist. So you can take videos from any of your groups or any topic and put them together. So to create a mixtape, you could start here or start in the discussion tab while looking at a topic. Let's just call this my playlist. And then I could add a description if I want or not. I can set password protection. I'm just going to go ahead and click create. And so the way I add videos here is I have to go find them in the discussion tab. So let's go back here. I'll go to one of the grids where I have a lot of responses. So this one has 26 responses. And so One of the things I didn't point out earlier was all these checkboxes. So I could go to a specific topic, and then I could just select a few videos, or I could use the button up here to unselect or select all. And then here I have an actions menu. And so here I could add to mixtape, and you have a few more options here as well. But for this example, I'm going to add to mixtape, and then I could just create the mixtape right here. But I created one over in the mixtape tab already, my playlist. So I'll select it and add. And now I could click go to my mixtape, or I could go back. I just want to show you, go back to this tab here, and then you can click on it to view it as well, or to share it. So I just want to show you what that looks like when you share this link with other people. So I'm going to go ahead and go to a different account. Let's go back to test. And then I'm going to paste it. So this is what a mixtape looks like when you share it. You can click on any video to start playing. And then as it plays, it'll just keep playing through all of the videos automatically. And then when it's done, it'll repeat again. It'll keep going in a loop. So that's what a mixtape is. The Shorts tab is just a place where you can go to create a video, and you don't even necessarily have to create the video for Flipgrid. It's just if you want to use the Flipgrid camera to make a video and share it, you could download it, copy the link. Maybe you're recording a mini lesson and you want to download it and then put it on YouTube. It could be any reason you want to use the Flipgrid camera, but you'd still have all the special effects here. So that's kind of cool. So to create a video, I would just click on this record a short button. And when you're done, you'd get some options for sharing. I'll just go ahead and click on one of these so you could see what those options look like. So if I scroll down here and I go to share, now I can see that I can copy this link to share with anyone. So even if I go to an account that is not a PVUSD account, I would still be able to watch the video. Um, you can also download the video, push it out to Classroom or to Remind or to social media. And the last tab is the Grid Pals tab. This is a place where you can connect with other Flipgrid educators and classrooms around the world if you want to. Right now, my profile is hidden, but you could make your profile active so that you appear on this map. You can zoom out here. Kind of takes a second to load. But yeah, you could zoom out and find basically pen pals all around the world, except you connect via Flipgrid. So you record videos and you could respond to each other's videos. If I click on one of the icons here, it should load the information of an educator that is looking to connect their classroom. So for example, this one here, I see the person's name, what grade they teach, and there should be at least one way to connect with them, either by social media or via email. Just above the map, you can actually also search by grade level or by subject or keyword. So for example, if I'm looking for elementary and I could choose a specific topic, for example, if I want to, maybe I'll search for gifted and talented. And as I choose things, the research results narrow down. So if you're interested in becoming active on that map to connect, you just click the active button and then you can update your profile. And you'll need to add at least one way to communicate. So enter your location. I'm going to say Watsonville. There it is. Click next. And then you'll update your social media here. And you can turn on whether or not you want them to contact you via email right here, and then click Become a Grid Pal. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about Flipgrid. I hope you had fun learning all about Flipgrid, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me or set up a coaching appointment.